All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, December 14th, 2012. Let me go over the results of the live trading room this morning. Given that it was rollover day, we were pretty cautious about trading. We took a trade on the NQ early on. I'll show you where that was. It was very early on, right here. It was 9:45. We got long right here on the up close above this trend line, and we took profit right up here. That was our only trade on the NQ this morning. We took 7 ticks profit on that. It's not to say that there weren't more opportunities. There were. Right here was one. Right here was another 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 one. There were just a bunch of opportunities. But but I was being maybe overly cautious. But being rollover day, I didn't want to trade a whole bunch on the indexes. Okay, they got pretty choppy for a while there. They got very choppy for a while in here. You see, I highlighted more areas in here. But anyway, we're up. We were up 7 ticks on the NQ, and we were up 16 ticks on the crude oil. Okay, I was actually up 22 ticks on the crude, but 6 ticks of that I didn't tell anybody about, so I'm not counting that. Let's see. This is the NQ. I just started going through the NQ. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for the free trial. And in that, you get our charts and data. Actually, Daniel's trading DT Pro charts and data for 5 business days. You also get access to our live trading room. You get to sit in there with us 2 hours per day for 5 business days and watch the indicators and the charts and learn how to trade it all. What else do you get? Well, that's pretty much what you get. We had a partners meeting last night. The partners meeting went pretty well. It was a long one. It went just about to midnight, right? A little before midnight, I think we wrapped it up. That one, hopefully we'll get it out on the website for all the partners who were unable to attend. Hopefully we'll get it out on the website today sometime. It has been shipped over to the Daniel's Trading server, and we're waiting for them to convert it. All right, moving on to other trades. The actual setups in here, I'll go over the one that I took again right here. All right. On the open, there were even more trades that I missed. Right here prior to the open, there was big movement down based on the news events that were coming out this morning. Look at that huge move down on the NQ. Now, where could you have gotten into this move down, you might ask? If you ignore the time of this, I'll just draw these in all the spots where you could have entered that. Okay, not every one would have worked out in your favor because some of them pulled back, but these are all possible entry points on that move down. Okay, right in there, right in there, right in there. Actually, move that down one right there. This may seem like a lot, but what I'm trying to point out is if you're just in it for a couple of points, a couple of, say 10, 15 ticks, something like that, any one of these, well, not any one of them, one of them would have lost here. One of these would have lost somewhere in here. This one here might have lost depending where you entered. You probably would have lost 8 ticks on that one. Okay, any of the other ones that would have won, you could have made, easily made 15 ticks on in a single trade. That's one of those ones that might have been moving so fast that, you might not have been able to trail your stop fast enough. And you might have made more than 15 ticks. You might have made 30 or 40. Anyway, once the markets did open up, we had a bullish cross right here suggesting that the bottom was in. And to start looking for long trades. There was a long opportunity right in here that I missed. Right here. Okay. The cycle was headed down, so you would have wanted to wait for the close above that trend line. So you could have gotten in there, taken some profit. Could have done it again. Right over here. Right here. And again, right here. All right. I got in over here. And then I was waiting for another opportunity over here, but it just didn't give it. All right, we've got a bearish cross saying that, well, maybe this is the end of the pullback, and there were more opportunities on the downside. Once it got down, if you look at the bottom, the low of the day was right here at 23. It got down to 26.23 here, 20, yeah, 26.23. Look at that. Okay. The low right here was, I'm sorry, 26.20, yeah, 26.23, and the low over here was 26.26. Once it put in this low right here, it got really sideways. The ES was also sideways with it at the same time. I'll just show you that over here on the 10,000 contract. There was a whole lot of sideways movement here. Very small range this morning. We didn't trade anything in there. There was one opportunity off the 10,000 contract chart right here that would have given 2 points. The 4-tick range chart had a couple of opportunities that we outlined this morning. Actually, just one that we outlined this morning. Not a lot of places to trade there. My thing that I told everyone was I wasn't going to try to force trades today because it was rollover day. I mean, I don't try to force trades anyway, but I would rather not trade at all than trade when there's really no good trading environment. Okay. Over here on the pound, this is the 6B. You see we rolled it forward to the H contract. Same thing, bullish cross. Here, you're looking at the same exact thing. On every single 4-tick range chart, you're looking for the same thing. Bullish cross, pullback test to the BBC, and an up close if you have the bullish divergence, or just a close above the trend line if you don't have the divergence. All right? There's 3 of them right here. 3 of them right there. All 3 of those were winning trades. Okay? That is on the pound. You could see it again on the 6E. Over here on the YM was very choppy today too. We weren't really paying all that much attention to it because all the indexes, again, the rollover was today and all the indexes were pretty choppy. There was a move down right here, right at the break, right before the break. We didn't take any opportunity within there. Okay? Not to say that there wasn't any, but we just didn't trade in there. Gold was also, it was difficult today. I didn't trade gold at all today. There were a couple of times that I tried to trade the gold, but I didn't get filled. Okay. Over here we had a test of the BBC with an up close, but we didn't have the divergence because the cycle was headed down. Again, 4-tick range, same exact trade setup, same set of indicators, same everything. Once you got a close up right here, it moved up just a little bit within a tick of the high, the swing high right there, and then it came crashing back down. Then back up, then back down, and so this up and down movement was happening over and over and over again. You can see I highlighted a couple areas in here where it looked like we might have an opportunity based on the divergence and the bullish cross. If you jumped in right here, it gave about, I don't know, probably 6 ticks. If you jumped in right here, it gave about the same thing on the short side. Not a lot of follow through on the gold today. You know, where we normally have a lot of follow through, there was none today on the gold. All right. You can see I highlighted a few areas and it just gave a few ticks. You know, this one gave about probably 8. This one, if you didn't stop out right there, that was probably the biggest one, and that was going right into the end of the morning session. That gave about 12. All right. But I didn't trade anything on the gold today. The Russell was, you know, just another index that I didn't trade today. But there were a couple of opportunities here on the Russell. Let's see, early on when the NQ was doing all that movement, you know, dropping down like that, the Russell had a couple of trades in there too that you could have done based on the divergence right here, bearish divergence right here. Okay, the down close, the move down. Over here, the same thing. Right here, though, we had the cycle was headed up, so we're losing our divergence, so you would have to have drawn this trend line like that, and you would have been looking for the close below that trend line. That didn't happen until up here, and it's right inside a weekly trading zone. Not something I would have done. Okay? But it was, I mean, it had great results, but it's not something I would have done. The markets opened up. It was right in and out of the weekly trading zone right here. I was really thinking right here, once it broke this neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, this is the head, shoulder, shoulder, this is the neckline. Once it broke that, I was really thinking it was going to move down to the zone down below us at 817. But it never gave us the shorting opportunity. It moved right back up into the weekly trading zone and got choppy in there and then turned around. There was an opportunity over here on the long side, right here. You could have gone long on the close above this trend line. Okay, I was looking for another opportunity in here, but it never happened. And then there was one over here during the break. Okay, that was the Russell today. Crude oil. We took 22 ticks out of crude oil, though only 16 of it were on trades I took in here. This was my first trade on the crude. I took the long. Right here you see we had the bullish divergence, but we never hit the BBC. Once it closed up above that trend line, I got long in there and I took 10 ticks profit right up here. The next trade that I took was with the bearish divergence, a test of the BBC and a down close right here. I shorted right there and I took 6 ticks profit right there. There was another trade earlier on that I had taken in here that I didn't tell anybody about, so I'm not counting those ticks. But basically, I mean, what I want everyone to take away from this is that on every single 4-tick range chart, we have the same indicator set, and we're doing the same exact trade setup. We're just looking for the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So you find a market that you like, that you're comfortable with the risk on, and you trade that market. All right. Soybeans. We tried to take a soybean trade this morning, but we didn't get filled. I believe it was right in here. I was trying to take a trade, and it ran away without me. There were only a few trades before it got really choppy in the beans. You see right in here it got really choppy. This one was pre-market. You know, the beans open at 10:30. This one happened, and I pointed it out. I believe I pointed that out in the live trading room, but I wasn't paying attention enough to take it. I did point this one out as well. This is the one that I tried to fill on. It was a test of the BBC with the up close above the trend line. I tried to fill right here, and I didn't get filled. This was the next opportunity over here, the close above this trend line. All right, this one gave, I don't know how many cents that gave, 91 and a quarter up to, let's just say 94 and a quarter. That gave 3 cents. This one gave a couple of cents. This one gave a couple of cents. So, you know, about 7 cents were available here in the soybeans in the morning session. Okay, 7 cents in the soybeans is the equivalent of 7 points in the ES, by the way, if you don't know. So for anybody that was interested in trading the soybeans or just wanted to see what happened to them this morning, that was it. Let's see, I think I've gone over pretty much all the markets here, right? I've gone over the Russell, gold, crude, NQ, YM, ES, ES 4-tick, soybeans, 6B. I didn't go over the 6E, but we can skip that. Natural gas. I didn't trade anything on natural gas. I looked at it a few times today. You know, when things were slow, there were opportunities in here. Okay. The gas actually had, in the pre-market this morning, it had a big move down. You know, you could have traded this in here in the pre-market, but I don't know what the volume is like on this in the pre-market. It looks like it's probably pretty thin. You know, if I just throw a volume thing on the bottom, oops, that's the side. Sorry about that. If I throw a volume thing on the bottom, you can see the volume is, you know, not a ton of volume on this. You know, the highest that we had on any 4-tick range bar was about 600 contracts, 700 contracts. You know, it's not bad, but it's not a lot, because you could trade in a 4-tick range for a long period of time. Okay, but the same stuff works no matter what market you're looking at. All right, that is that. All right, I'm gonna wrap up my recording here. If again, if you haven't taken the free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/free trial. Sign up. All we need is your email and your name. Yeah, your email address and your name, and that's all we need. All right, that's it. I'm gonna stop the recording.